Three girls spent a month saving up and bought tickets from a scalper to see their favourite singer live in concert. They were ecstatic, not just because they got in, but because their seats were front row. During the show, the singer interacted with them. Through his security team, he got the girls' contact info. After the concert, security escorted them to a room. They were about to meet their idol. It felt unreal, like a dream. Maybe that was also because they'd been drinking and smoking weed.
Mr. Singer wants you to lift up your skirts.
Then, their beloved singer walked in. He was dressed exactly how they'd imagined. A white tee and jeans, except his fly was open. And when they looked closer, they realised he was fully exposed. Then he said just one thing. The girls weren't just drunk anymore. They were starstruck too, so they did what he asked.
Then he told all three girls to have sex with him.
One of them was barely coherent, but she still told him, "But we're only 14. The second he heard that refusal, his face went cold. He didn't say a word. He zipped up and walked out, then went straight into another room. That has to be the creepiest fan meet and greet I've ever heard of. So who was this singer? To answer that, we have to go back to 1967, when Kelly was born, on Chicago's South Side. Let's look at how this superstar was made. Kelly later got a stepfather, who had 2 children with his mother, and then bailed. When Kelly started elementary school, his teacher told his mother, "Your son has dyslexia," which, in his mom's eyes, meant his future was basically over. His mother was devastated. She had pinned all her hopes on seeing her child move up in life. She prayed day and night in church, asking God to help her son. To put it another way, Kelly spawned with 0 points in reading or academics, and maxed out his music stats instead. Slowly, while going to church with his mother, his singing talent was noticed by a priest, and he joined the choir. For someone with dyslexia, school was never going to be easy. So Kelly dropped out in 11th grade. No real job skills, and not even an adult yet. He grew up in the chaos of Chicago's South Side, but because his friends were music nerds, he didn't end up on the streets dealing drugs. To make a living, he and his friends busked in subway stations every day. In 1990, Kelly formed a group called MGM with his friends, went on a TV talent show, won first place, and landed his first record deal. Around that time, a manager named Barry approached Kelly. Barry was a veteran manager and producer. After hearing some of Kelly's demos, he decided this kid was destined for big things. So he signed him and became his manager. He helped produce Kelly's first album. That album took him from subway busker to one of America's hottest new R&B stars. He was so talented that even Michael Jackson sought him out for music. In 1995, he wrote a song that became a global smash. Songwriter R. Kelly. The following year, Kelly released the biggest single of his career. Written, produced and sung entirely by Kelly himself. That song alone generated tens of millions of dollars. But in reality, very little of that money went to Kelly. Most of it went to his manager and the label. He wrote a song that made kids all over the world believe they could fly. So why wasn't he flying high himself? The answer is simple. Kelly had dyslexia, and his manager, Barry, allegedly manipulated the contracts. Kelly couldn't read them, so Barry could write whatever he wanted. Kelly finally snapped. "You stole my money, didn't you?" Aaliyah was another incredibly gifted R&B singer. After Kelly blew up, Barry wanted Kelly to mentor his niece. During that mentorship, the 15-year-old fell for Kelly, and Kelly produced her debut album. That says a lot on its own. Vocals, Aaliyah. When Aaliyah was 15, she lied about her age and married Kelly as if she were an adult. But why would a 15-year-old girl marry a grown man like Kelly? Because she was pregnant with his child. That was the point when Kelly and Barry fully fell out. Chicago media later received an anonymous videotape. The tape appeared to show a black man engaging in sexual acts with a girl who looked underage. But it didn't take long for people to notice that the man's face was clearly visible, and his voice and body language looked a lot like Kelly's. As for the girl, it was later reported that she was the 14-year-old niece of Kelly's longtime drummer. At 9:56 p.m., Kelly was arrested in Florida and extradited to Chicago. The story exploded nationwide. According to CBS News, police charged Kelly with 21 counts related to child sexual abuse material, including possession, production, and distribution. But the girl in the tape refused to say she was the person in the video and refused to testify, though the case dragged on for 6 years. In the end, the court ordered Kelly to post $750,000 bail, and the charges in that case were eventually dropped. Before all this, Kelly had been seen as a pure R&B superstar, a classic inspirational story of a kid making it out of the hood. But after this case, people slowly began to see a darker side of him because people kept coming forward about what Kelly had done. After Kelly became famous, he turned into a role model in Chicago. Even teachers at the high school he dropped out of would tell students, study hard, keep chasing your dreams, and you could be the next Kelly. People often saw Kelly hanging around the neighborhood, inspiring lost teenagers. But for some reason, Kelly seemed especially interested in underage girls. Right after he got famous, besides high schools, the place Kelly frequented most was McDonald's, because that was where high school kids usually hung out after class. One of those girls was named Tiffany. She came from a family background a lot like Kelly's. No father, poverty, and she had even gone to the same school as him. Like Kelly, she loved to sing when she was up late feeling depressed. Then one day, while Tiffany was doing homework at McDonald's with her friends, she saw Kelly there. She immediately wanted to talk to the upperclassman she idolized. Kelly, for his part, straight up gave Tiffany his address. He told her, "Come by my house sometime and we can talk. You can come over." Tiffany was a hardcore stan of Kelly, so she quickly rounded up all her girlfriends and went to Kelly's house. As a girl from the south side of Chicago, you can imagine how overwhelmed and dazzled she felt being up on the north side. Kelly put an arm around Tiffany and said, "You're really talented, you know that." Kelly was Tiffany's idol. Hearing that from him, she totally fell for it. She felt like she'd do anything for him. But soon, Tiffany realized Kelly and all of her friends had suddenly disappeared. Then, in another room, she saw Kelly with 4 or 5 of her underage friends. Honestly, Tiffany felt uneasy, but she had never seen anything like that before. Back then, before the internet was everywhere, she told herself this must just be some strange north side scene in Chicago. After Kelly was done, he took Tiffany by the hand and said,
You're really talented.
"Trust me, but next time, can you bring more girlfriends?" Over the next few years, Tiffany brought hundreds of girls to Kelly. Sometimes, Kelly would assault girls, right there in a recording studio full of staff. After a while, Tiffany became pregnant with Kelly's child, and at that point, Kelly started activating the worst instincts in him. Just kidding. The truth was, his fame had gotten too big, so he quickly cut Tiffany off. "That kid isn't mine. I don't know anything about it. Maybe you were sleeping around. I'm not taking a paternity test. Goodbye." Tiffany hit rock bottom. She even attempted suicide. While hospitalized, she contacted lawyers and the police, but no one took her seriously.
People assumed she was just some unstable girl trying to get money.
But Tiffany didn't give up. She joined forces with many other girls who said Kelly had sexually assaulted them and filed a civil suit together. Not long after, Tiffany settled with Kelly for $250,000. That didn't make Kelly reflect on his behavior. Instead, Kelly realized that if fame alone couldn't keep people quiet, money still could. Especially after he released another single that even outperformed 50 Cent's In the Club, and the audience showed no sign of turning on him. All of that taught him that as long as he kept making hits, he wouldn't have to face consequences. After that, his abuse of underage girls escalated. He controlled what they ate, how they dressed, and who they saw. He wouldn't let them contact anyone. If they disobeyed, he hit them.
And he made them recruit more girls.
According to statements from Kelly's ex-wife in recent years, he even behaved inappropriately towards his own daughter. Okay, I know everyone's tired of hearing the list of his crimes, so let's fast forward. Eventually, this horrific pattern was finally brought to trial. Kelly's cult-like operation was exposed, and people began boycotting his music. Let's be honest, but was a monster on the level people now compare to Diddy, with even more victims involved. In 2019, Kelly was formally arrested. In September 2021, he was found guilty. The earliest he could get out is 2045. Now, let's go back to a summer day in 1975 on Chicago's South Side. Young Kelly told his friends, "Today I'm taking over the slide at the park. Those kids in baseball jerseys can get lost." But as he opened the door to go outside, his sister, 4 years older than him, was standing there. She looked at her little brother and saw a child she could exploit. "Mum's not home today, so I'm the one in charge now. Come here. Take your pants off. Show me your body." Kelly was only 7 years old. His older brother was abused by the sister too, though the brother seemed to act like he enjoyed it. He told Kelly, "If you tell anyone about this, you're done. You'll never play on that slide again, and nobody will invite you to parties." That deepened Kelly's withdrawn personality, and may have planted something dark in him. The incestuous abuse between the siblings went on for years. During that time, his sister also passed Kelly around to her friends, and even to a male landlord. That horrific childhood trauma may have, at least in part, helped shape the twisted psychology he later developed. But more importantly, he became a notorious predator of minors. People like that deserve the harshest punishment possible. His past cannot excuse his crimes. So now we know who R. Kelly was. A deeply disturbed man with deeply disturbed impulses. A person like that belongs in prison for the rest of his life. He hated black women, hypersexualized them, and preyed on vulnerable women with sexual trauma or addiction. He knew exactly what he was doing was wrong. He was a hitmaker, a songwriter, a superstar, and also a disgusting piece of trash. He never should have. No peace.